It's been a week since I picked up my Celica and I have a lot to say on the car. First, let's hear a cold start. It's funny that my oldest car of the three is actually the quietest and the smoothest. I bought this car because I absolutely love rally cars. I have my GR Corolla back there, which really introduced me into the world of rally. I've always been interested in it, but that GR Corolla just pushed me to the next level where my whole Instagram feed is now literally just rally cars, specifically Yaris's for some reason. Wonder how that happened. I'm so happy to bring this car onto the channel. It actually feels unreal seeing my GR Corolla, my 8.6, and now my Celica GT4 right here. I really don't care about horsepower. For me, it's just all about the way the car feels while also being reliable at the same time, hence why I have the cars that I have. I absolutely love them and I would not trade them for anything. This car is really special to me because it is a homologated rally car, very similar to how the GR Corolla is also a rally car. Now I understand the GR Corolla is not a homologated rally car itself, but it shares a lot of similar parts with the GR Yaris, which is the homologated rally car. So I like to look at the GR Corolla like a four-door version of the GR Yaris. So it's still a rally car, at least to me. But then we have cars like the Celica. This thing is just straight up a rally car. It's the homologation spec. Mine is a WRC edition, which is just even cooler. It being a WRC edition, it gets a factory intercooler water spray system, factory anti-lag. It also gets really cool bits like this hood air dam, and then also because it's a WRC edition, it gets these spoiler risers, which from the back just looks insane. I mean, look at that rear end. This is also my first right-hand drive car, and check out that interior. This car actually shocked me when I saw it in person. It's so pristine in here. The only damage I can see along the entire interior is this little spot on the seat. But those are the seats. We might even change those out one day, but just looking at it right now, I'm in love with this car. I mean, I wanted a stock Celica. That's what I was looking for. And the only mods this car has is the TRD Momo steering wheel, a TRD shift knob, but the car did come with the factory shift knob. It has Volk CE28 wheels and a Fujitsubo exhaust. Please correct me if I'm pronouncing the exhaust wrong. So what are my plans with the Celica? Well, let's go take it for a drive and I'll tell you all about them. I've had this car for about a week now. It is my first right-hand drive car, so it's been taking a lot of getting used to. Ultimately, I want to turn this thing into a rally car, but in the meantime, I've been really enjoying it in its stock form. It's my first right-hand drive car, and learning to drive right-hand drive in the US is a very interesting experience. It almost feels like I'm learning to drive a car again, just in general. I thought the hardest part would be shifting with my left hand, but believe it or not, of all the things you can think of, shifting with my left hand or driving on the other side of the road, it's actually the fact that the turn signal and the windshield wiper stalks are reversed now. So every time I go to make a lane change, I end up turning my windshield wipers on, and that's the hardest part to remember. I've always heard that classic cars are just a more raw, more connected driving experience, and so far the car is proving to do exactly that. I've really been enjoying driving this car because it's a completely different experience than my two newer cars, but on the flip side, it does remind me a lot of my GR4 Corolla, because this is a GT4, so I like to see the GT4 kind of like the dad or the grandpa to the GR Corolla, because ultimately, if you look at them on paper, they're very similar cars. All-wheel drive, turbo, manual, built for rally. So the driving experience is actually pretty similar. I would say the Corolla just feels a little bit softer. This car, you know, the steering has less play in it. It's a little bit stiffer. I would say this car even rides smoother, and that was my biggest, like, shocker when I got the car, is driving it. Like, the Corolla rattles a lot, and I don't know if that's just because I put a louder exhaust on that car or what, but it rattles, and I think that this car is just better built. For example, the car has glass headlights, the doors have a little bit more of a thunk to them when you close them. It just feels better built than these newer cars. They just feel a little bit more hollow and thin, and it doesn't really connect you to the car as much as a car like this. I will say, learning to rev match is also something I've been having to do, because, believe it or not, don't call me out for this, but my Corolla has IMT, which is Toyota's intelligent manual transmission, and with that, it does all the downshifting for you. It actually helps you on the upshifts too, so when you shift into gear, before you let out the clutch, it holds the RPMs exactly where they need to be to go into the next gear. Well, this car,
doesn't have any of that. So you have to do it all yourself, which adds to the experience as well. You know, it adds a nice touch that you have to actually drive this car and the car can't drive for you. I mean, my Corolla has literally lane assist. If you just let go of the wheel, it'll drive for you. Not saying you should do that, but theoretically you can. It's just crazy to me to drive this car right now because it's 31 years old. I personally am 22 years old. So this car was built before I was even born. This car is also, I want to say, the best feeling out of my 3 cars because this thing is on stock suspension, but it is the most planted. It has the least amount of body roll. It almost feels like if you combined the handling from the 8.6 with the abilities of the Corolla, it would be this car because it handles very similar to how my 8.6 feels in terms of how planted it feels, how flat it is. It's really stuck to the ground, but it's all-wheel drive, it's manual, just like my Corolla. It's kind of shocking to me that this car has an aftermarket exhaust on it. It sounds good. I actually really like it. It kind of sounds stock, but you know, driving it, it's enjoyable. There's no exhaust drone, there's no rattles in the interior. This car just feels more comfortable than my GR Corolla. And I'm doing a lot of comparing to my other 2 cars because that's just what I'm used to. And I want to say the GR Corolla and the Celica GT4 do share a lot in common, at the same time sharing absolutely nothing in common. I'm pretty sure not a single part from this car is on the GR Corolla, but when you drive them, they have the same character. The car tells you the same thing. It gives you similar feedback in the wheel. I would say this car in its current stage is more prone to understeer, but that could also be due to the fact that I did put a rear sway bar on the Corolla. That helps to bring in some more rotation into the car. Going into it, I really thought that this car was going to feel worse than it does. I would never have told you that this car would feel more solid than both of my new cars. And it's just so shocking. And it really goes to show why a lot of people like older cars. This car just feels good. You feel connected to it. And I'm getting to a point now where, call me a purist, but I don't even want to own an automatic anymore. This car has so much decel. Like when you let off the throttle, the whole car just jolts you forward. And I absolutely love it. Here, let's do a first gear pull. I'm still learning how to shift this car better, but we're getting there, we're getting there. So what are my plans with the Celica? Well, it is a rally car and I'm going to treat it like one. On the very first ride home after picking up this car, we found a dirt road and we still do have to do some things to the car that'll prepare it a little bit better for rally because it is a homologated rally car, but at the end of the day, it is still a street car just with a lot of rally technology in it. But this car feels really good on the street as well, and that's one of my favorite things about rally cars is I like that they can just do it all. They feel really good on tarmac, they feel really good on gravel, dirt, mud. They can just kind of conquer it all, and that's really special to me, and I think that's really cool, especially for a car that you want to use every day. This is a car you want to wring it out, you want to bring it to redline, really use all the power it has, feel it through a turn. You know, it's not overbearing, it's a really controllable, nice experience to drive. And so what I want to do with the car is essentially retain that feeling. I want to use the car as it was intended. I'm going to mostly drive it on the street, but every once in a while I want to take it off-road, and this car will be really good for that. This car just does not fail to put a smile on your face. Just a third, fourth, fifth gear pull, and this thing just, it feels good, man. Like, it's a solid car. I still can't believe that this car is 31 years old. You know, granted it has 67,000 miles on it, so to me, for the age, this is essentially a new car. It still has not hit me that I own this car. I think it's so beautiful out here in these roads with
this environment and this car, it just works. It makes sense. One of my favorite things about this car is the spoiler, and I'm so happy that I went for the WRC edition because it comes with these GT4 wing risers, and I think they just make the wing look awesome. One thing I'm debating, should we get them color matched? So from the factory they come black, and it does say GT4 right there, but I was thinking how cool would it be to color match them and then paint the GT4 lettering in black. It's just a thought. We might do it. We might try it out with some wrap first just to kind of play around with, but that's an idea. Also, I want to make this car look a lot more new, so we are going to repaint the rear bumper, and I'm thinking I might even try and do it with wrap. I feel like it's possible. I've done it on one of my older cars before, and you would never know that it was wrap. Also, another thing that was really funny to me, so I was looking on eBay at the badges for the car because I was like, well, if I want to make it look new, I can get new badges for the car. It shouldn't be too expensive. Toyota badge, not too expensive. Celica badge, not too expensive. The GT4 badge, there's only one on eBay right now, and it's $600. I also got a few things just to make the car look a little bit better. So this seal right here along the vent, I went ahead and got a new one just so the car looks more new. I want to really bring this car back to life, as if it's not already, but I want to bring it back to life and make it look like it just came off of the showroom floor. I'm also a huge fan of these wheels. I think these would actually look really good on my 8.6, but what do you think? Bronze on a yellow car, would that work? I'm kind of iffy, but I think it could work. I do like them on this car, but they're too much of a street wheel to me, and we need something more rally, so I'm thinking some white wheels would be really cool on the white car. I'm not gonna do any form of a lip kit or a body kit on this car because we need the most ground clearance we can do, but one thing I will do is I'm looking to do some skid plates on the bottom of the car so that way we can protect it, because I took this thing off-road and, well, the engine bay, everything just splashed up into the engine bay and made it super dirty. So if we can help protect the car, that's also another thing I'm really interested in doing. It's so nice and smooth up here though, I'm wondering how would that look with a roof scoop? Is it ricey? That's my only fear. But I think it works on a rally car. I mean, we literally have so many scoops on the hood. Might as well add one to the roof, right?
The interior in this car is actually pristine. Not a crack on the dashboard, not a scratch anywhere. It looks so good, and I like the cloth seats too. An older car with cloth seats, it just works. It just is comfortable. This car is so much more comfortable than my Corolla or 8.6. Like, I honestly don't like seats that bolster you too much. It kind of, like with my shoulders, it just hugs you in too much, and I feel like I'm getting cramped. So I kind of like a more comfortable seat like these. So for now, I don't want to replace them, but where I am with the car is I want to do the rally approach on the outside, but the interior is so pristine. I would kind of feel bad tearing it up to gut it, do a roll cage, you know, racing seats, the harness, like all the safety equipment you need for a rally car. I'm really thinking about it. I think at least for the first stage of this car, you know, I want to enjoy it in its stock form. I like the 90s look. I like how everything's so pristine. I might even do some Alcantara wrap on certain spots because I did that to my Corolla and it came out super cool. And that's actually one of my favorite mods to the Corolla that I did. But with this car, I don't know, I just like it how it is, and I would almost feel bad messing it up. You know, this car's rare, this car's hard to come by, and the fact that we were able to get one in such good shape, I really like it, and I would enjoy it a lot. You know, me personally, I would enjoy it in its current form, but part of me also wants a race car. You know, I've got two really comfortable daily drivers, and then this thing could become the race car, so you need to get a daily for your daily for your daily for your daily. Ultimately, this thing's gonna come out sick regardless.
I have a lot of plans for the car, but I want to hear your thoughts. What would you do? Because I'm super open to it. If you have suggestions, I would love to hear them, and who knows, maybe we'll see them end up on the car. But if you enjoyed the video and want to see many more just like it, please do make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.